Yo, what's happening, guys? I've been going through a lot of my high time frame analysis, and I've been putting a lot of it up in Trading View picture format. And I just wanted to go through what I can see on Bitcoin coming up on high time frames, and just run through it in video format. There's a few things I need to go through. So just currently in the Bitcoin market, we've broken our high low market structure that we've been monitoring for quite a while now. We had this drastic. We sort of had this internal break of structure here, and then we had this drastic move that broke structure here, which created this massive imbalance in the market. Prior to that, though, what we can see, um, we did have this imbalance in the market that we knew needed to be filled. It had to come down. It didn't get filled with this higher low. We had this retail trend line that was sitting in here. Whales manipulated this trend line, so there would have been a lot of retail traders that would have sold this breakout, that then got whipsawed back and lost and crushed their stop losses that were sitting above here. So that was just a whale manipulation or a retail trap, if you like. We continued to move up. We weren't showing much signs of strength here. It was just sort of tapering up. We did take this final liquidity before we did get that crash back down. Current situation, we are sitting in this high time frame whale block here, and it is a strong whale block because it did come up and break this structure, and it's created this imbalance in the market here, which did get filled. So we currently have filled imbalance. We are in this high time frame whale block. So what I'm currently looking for is we're in this retail flag. What I can see happening is another manipulation of this trend this trend channel, which will once again induce the breakout traders to sell before getting whipsawed back out, similar to the situation we had here. If if we get a body close below these lows, so if we get a body close below these lows, I believe we're going to come down and fill and take this final whale block down here. If not, move to take this buy side liquidity down in these sections down here. So currently monitoring lower time frames. If we do get this lower time frame break of structure and run up, these are our zones. Either take profits, imbalance fill, take profit zones, and look to short from here, because we have had this break of structure. This high here is our high. It's set in. I believe if we do run up, just need to fill the imbalance and then come into these two whale blocks. In regards to these two whale blocks and which whale block to pick as such, well, no matter what, I'm going to be looking for a confirmation from both. Um, it is a good idea to scale into it as well. I mean, I'm pretty confident on this high being set in, so you could set um, an entry at this whale block here, and another entry at the whale block here, and set your high, and basically scale into this position, because the whales can run our stop losses, which we don't want to do. We always want to put our stop losses where retail is. We want to put our entry where retail stop losses are. The other thing is we had this tiny manipulation. So this last sweep on liquidity before this big fall. So we know whales jumped in here. If you look at this on a lower time frame, we can find our whale candle, which is the section where the whales drove this up and then dropped it back down. This is still unmitigated. So we have to be careful when we get into these zones that we don't get a wick in to mitigate fully out of that before melting back down. The other thing that I just want to monitor currently is just going over the DXY, the dollar index, and what we're seeing. So on the weekly chart here, we've come into this supply zone. I believe if we break above this supply zone, we will try to run up to the highs at 120. So at the moment, let's zoom in a little bit. At the moment, current market structure, we are breaking to upside. We did have this little internal break of structure which could have fooled some people, but at this stage of the market on the daily time frame, we want to be looking at breaking the main structures here. So until we break this structure, it's we're basically looking at something like this. If we get that break, I believe we'll continue running up. If we sort of see something like this, I believe we could fall. But a main component to this whole situation between the Dixie and BTC at the moment is going to be what old mate Jerome says on Friday at 9 o'clock, Friday US time. Where are we? 9 o'clock. Jerome Powell speaks. So that happens on Friday at 9 o'clock, which is Saturday my time. So it's going to be very interesting. What I can see happening in the market, I'm definitely not going to be trading until that happens, but I can see us sitting in this channel. News will come out. The news is expected to be sort of not bullish, not bearish, just sort of whatever you want to call it, just stable as such. So what I can see is we'll play with this. We'll play inside this trend channel. We're not going to move outside this trend channel until that news does come through. And we know what happens when that comes in. Whales do like to manipulate, so I can see this around that same time. I can see a manipulation drawing FOMO breakout traders into this. But the main thing is if we get a body close below these lows, then I expect bearish. But if it's just a wick close, we can even wick below these. But if we get a body close, it's a different story. So we can wick down, take all this liquidity that's under this low here, wick down before we come up and take this and take all this imbalance into the higher time frames. So it's going to be interesting to monitor the fundamental side of things for the dollar index, because if the dollar index does fall, if the dollar index does fall, where are we? Jump on the weekly here. If the dollar index does fall, I can see us sort of, if we pull fibs, we dropped into the 618 zone. If this is our top, I can see us tumbling back down into this. Let's get rid of these, clear it up a little bit. Coming back down into this 618 zone. So that's currently what I'm seeing. So it's going to be very interesting when the Fed speaks to see what happens and monitor the market. But it's just, don't make sure you're not in positions when the news comes out, or just make sure you understand what's going to happen and the potentials. So guys, thanks for listening, and good luck with it all. Catch you later.